remember seeing the white something on the I just thought somebody hauled them in there so it wouldn't be muddy maybe. I don't remember seeing animals from bobbing in the mud or something.
It was a little teeny tiny bit west of that fence that comes down through there. And down in the field north, I'd say 50 or 60 feet.
Well, did they have a well when they lived there? Hand-dug well or anything? Where'd they get their water from?
There was a well up in Pima.
Everybody got their water from.
Everybody got their water at that well. And the way they did, they went down here in the fields, brush, and they found a big long mesquite, forked mesquite stick, huge one. Cut it off, and they tied a chain around one end and fastened a single tree to it. And then in the middle of it, they set a barrel, wooden barrel, and they wired it on there. And then they take off down through that brush to the well. And the other man would come from the other way. And if you want to know where Paul and Merrill lived, they say take that lizard trail right there and lead it to his house. If you want to know where Ben Smith lived, take that other trail right there. That'll take you straight to Ben Smith's house. And that's the way you find anybody you want by following their lizard trail where they haul water back home.
Well, you know, I've heard that too, that they had that one community well, but that was down by, from what I understand, down by where the Baptist church is now, where the old Dewdrop Inn used to be.
It could easily been.
But that is a swampy area. You'd think that water would be so nasty.
It was. It gave them all the malaria. My dad almost died of malaria. And every summer, he'd take all the horses. See, you have, after spring roundup was over, then he'd take all the horses up on Mount Glen, and he would herd them all summer because he couldn't stand it down here in the valley with the malaria out of that old well. But they didn't know what was causing it. I guess the people
Well, it was swampy and low.
later on found out why. But you're right, that would probably be the swampiest place in Pima would be right.
Well, it was shallow water, but I'm just thinking the taste of the water was probably bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, see now, over at Eden where we lived, they had a better way. And my grandpa Curtis, he went out and he got some men to help him build a canal. What they call the Curtis Canal now. And it came down and it came right down in front of our house. And everybody takes their barrels out there, and when the river's running clear, it was clear. That water was, I guess, a lot more pure than the well water. But they would dip it up and put it in these barrels. And then when they wanted water, they'd run out there to the ditch and get a bucket of water. And so when the ditch come down muddy, they'd have clear water. If they ran out of clear water, they would put it in there muddy and wait one day and it was all settled. And then they'd dip it up gently off the top and still use it.
Sounds kind of bad, but it's probably better than the water we drink today.
That river water was, I'll bet you, better than the water we drink today.
Well, when did they put in that Eden Spring? You know, I always heard they got water up Eden Spring. When did they got it? When they started using it?
A little later. Well, I don't know when. Oliver Springs, they call it. I can remember, well, I can remember we had a wagon with an iron wheel. You never rode, I'm sure, on an iron wheel wagon. But it sounded like a brigade of tanks coming down the road. Them irons on them rocks. And then on top of that, there was a big steel tank bouncing back and forth and rattling. And we'd take that thing and go way off up to those Oliver Springs and fill it full of water and bring it down and put it in the cistern. And that's the way we had a cistern, real small at the top, like 2 foot at the top, but it was huge in the middle, it was like an egg. It was 6 foot across, 10, 12 foot deep, and it had a lid on it, and we'd haul water till we got it full as you wanted it, and put the lid on, and then it had a bucket and a rope and a pulley, and you just, like opening the water tap, all you had to do is turn up the lid and pull that water up out of that cistern.
Well, that water at Eden Spring is good because I drank out of it before and it's good water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was good water. Eden never did have bad water. Well, I don't guess, you know, like that first ditch water, but it was better than the water they had in FEMA, I'm sure.
Tell us about some of the things you did when you were a kid. Did you have a favorite horse or a dog or something that your grandkids might be interested in hearing about?
No.
Now you had old Bluebell.
Well, we had old Bluebell, all right. Of course, I don't know. She was all of our cousins and from down at Miami and Globe. They just loved Bluebell, and you could, as many as could get on her could ride her.
Well, Bluebell was alive when we were kids, because I can remember
If
riding her.
you started to fall, when one kid fall, they grab the rest and they all fall. And when they start sliding, which you'd stop dead still, the kids would all fall off and they'd get hold of her legs or in his tail any way they could, and get back up and get on her. And the way they go, and they try to make her go fast, but she wouldn't go fast because the kids would fall off. She'd take care of kids just like a babysitter. Well, when they fell, she stopped immediately so she wouldn't step on any of them. But in turn, she was a cutting horse. The cow buyers would rent her and try to outbid each other to get her during the cattle selling time. They'd buy cattle and they'd cut out 10% or 8%. And so they went in and done their own cutting and cut out the cattle they didn't want. They bought the whole herd with a 10% cut at so much. And so they would use Bluebell for a cutting horse. Or a rope horse.
What color was she?
She was blue when she was young,
Dapple gray.
but then when she got old, she turned
gray.
white or white. She was blue when she was young.
Steve, wasn't she around when we were kids?
No, you know what horse you're thinking about, Lynn?
It's not the,
Ellis Watson had an old gray mare
Yeah.
called Bluebell.
oh, okay, well, that's a different bluebell, then,
It
yeah.
sure the
They
world.
called her
It
bluebell.
sure the world
Do you
is.
remember that bad Ellis Watson?
And,
Old gray mare?
oh,
She was 100 years old.
one hair out of old Bluebell's tail was much better.
They called her bluebell, I
Yeah,
remember
that
that.
was-
Well, they
Watson
called her
had
Bluebell because she was blue when she was young. All white horses, pretty white horses. And they start in turning white on their hocks and up, and they gradually get whiter, and they turn dapple, and then up back of their head and back of their ears they turn white, and finally they become pure white. But all those pure white horses were blue when they were young, blue dapple. And then when they get a little bit older, they start getting specks on them. And little red specks, sometimes black specks. Those specks, they go through the three changes from the blue to the white to the specks. When they're speckled, they're
Oh, she's Nancy, Nancy.
old, 12, 14-year-old.
Squeaks of blue.
Yeah, we used to get in trouble. I don't know. It never was my fault, but it seemed like I always got blamed for it.
Now, let's don't tell any of them stories either, okay? Let's tell something else.
Well, we're just going to tell about how easy it is to get blamed for something somebody
Well,
else
no,
done.
we don't want stories like that. We just seem to have something else.
They, our mothers went to town, to Pima. It takes all day to go meet the Pima. And they left our bigger sisters in charge. And they were about 11, however old it takes a big sister to be mean. That's the age they were. And so they took in their head, we'll bathe them two kids. We'll even use soap on them. So they got this tub of water, big round wash tub full of water, ice cold water, and right out of the cistern, and a bar of that old brown colored soap my mom made out of the hog skin. And they started on us. And about halfway through, one of the kids, he couldn't take it no more. And he just jumped out and started. And we lived right by the store, and there's a lot of people over together waiting for the mail at the store. Old women mostly waiting for the mail. And he went right up through, right up the road where everybody was. And I decided if it's good for him, it's good for me. So I went. Well, it wasn't long till here come our sisters with tamaracks. Now tamaracks made the finest switches, or I'd call them horse whips, that you ever saw. And here they come with them long tamarack switches, and we'd went up the canal and hid under the bridge. Well, they pulled up their dresses, you know, how they do, way up high, and gathered them up in one hand and cut that switch in the other. And they started under that bridge after us. We got out from under that side, and they had our clothes with us, but we didn't know they had that switch too. So back we went, back down through all that women to the house.
This was Linda
wasn't me. Had no more to do with it than anybody.
No particular like Lena, it's her nasal used to be rough on him.
Hit him with a switch, huh? Well, didn't he tell a story once about putting pants on backwards or upside down, or both legs in one leg, or?
No, but it used to always confuse me when I put on my shoes. If I put one on the wrong foot, the other would be on the wrong foot too. I used to think it looks like once in a while you get at least one of them on the right foot. But that's always both on the wrong feet. Well, turned off very much.
Well, that's what we're doing, visiting. If you want to turn it off, that's fine.
Well, you.
I can turn it off.
We're getting tired, sweetheart.
Wait, let's get a picture of everybody.
Well, I
Wait,
don't
let's get a
can't
picture
think
of everybody.
things to tell unless when somebody's watching, you know, or something.
Give me an ugly
Here,
face.
Here, come take a picture.
Give me a
Gidget.
usual face.
Come here, Gidget. Gidget, come on.
Give me a usual face.
Kick her, Reed.
That's our
Come
little
here.
friend.
Get it, go to daddy. Go on.
Come on.
Go over there, Gidget.
Come over here. Work on her, Reed.
Go on over there.
Get over there, you mean thing. What's the matter with you?
Come here.
Just don't want to mind.
Come here, claw.
Go to daddy.
Come on, Dad. Yeah. Stand up. There you go. Look at him now.
That's,
Look at him.
this here young blood woman's didn't her
Her husband died.
of cancer.
With lung cancer,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what
But he wouldn't hear of doing anything. when she
Okay,
said-
you're going.
That's good.
I
How are you boys doing? Look up at the camera. Look up at the camera. There you go. Hey, you looking up at the camera?
Say
He's
hi,
like-
Grandpa.
he's Stick his,
Hi, Grandpa.
Yeah. Yeah, you look
Wave
up.
at him. Wave at
Can you
the
see that
Grandpa.
red bird?
Take your finger out of your mouth.
Let's all wave at
Take your
that
finger
red
out of your
bird.
mouth and say, wave
Kaylin?
to Grandpa.
Wave
your
at
hand
that
in.
red bird. There you go. There you go. That's the way.
now look up and say hello to Grandpa. Say hello to Grandpa Saline. Great Grandpa Saline.
Hug Grandpa's neck.
Hello.
Hug Grandpa's
Can you hug Grandpa's neck?
Hug Grandpa's neck.
Boy,
Kaylin
you know.
can.
Hug Grandpa's neck. Give Grandpa a kiss. Give Grandpa a kiss.
Don't let him stomp on your toes with them
Grandpa
boots.
a
It'll
kiss.
kill
Give
you.
Grandpa a kiss. Oh.
Oh.
Give Grandpa
Oh,
a kiss.
yeah.
Kiss.
Kaylin.
Yeah.
Kaylin can
Let's
give him a
give me a
kiss. Midget
Ow.
too.
Gidget. Here, Gidget. Here. Excuse me. Gidget. Gidget. You gonna talk to me, Gidget? Yes, no. Where did my dad go? Mom, where did Dad go? I'm trying to find him. I can't find him.
He's in the bathtub.
Oh, there he is. Oh, here, okay. Great picture of that.
What'd it do?
There he is.
Turn a few of them knobs.
Well, say something or do something.
Well, that's what I say. There's not much to do. Well, we're not gonna have another one of them sessions, are
Try to think of something to say.
we? Yeah. It's all the blue sky, you know.
Tell them where you seen the sun come up from in Texas.
Yeah, well, like I was telling Rhonda, I see it one time driving in Texas, I saw the sun come up right square in the west, a huge sun right up out of the ground.
Yep.
Due west.
I'll tell you what, this is not gonna pick up much with that light plugged in over there.
Well, turn it
Our
on.
job, it's irritating because
Go take a
how cold it
picture
is.
of
What now?
Vita.
You know, that light was on, last night.
No, it wasn't. There we go, see? Linda, it
No,
was
'cause when I
not.
was sitting here, she got up and turned this one on and turned that one on.
Oh, well, it was on when we did Mitchell and Kaylin, so it may not be good.
Is that a very good?
Mom, get over, Grandma, get over there.
You too, Mom.
Go on, Mom. I'll sit down.
I haven't even got my hair combed. I guess I look just like I look every
Yeah,
day.
tell me when you started.
This is
Mom,
good.
It started right now.
All right.
Now, can I do it and you go standing behind them?
Tell them about your old Andy.
Well, he hasn't got the sound on that, have you?
Yeah.
I'll
Your-
bet that, 'cause that's so fictitious.
It's on now.
Okay,
Now it's on.
what do you want to
Okay.
hear? The Ten
Well,
Commandments?
just,
Yeah, it's recording.
no, just take her pictures and turn it off, Linda.
Yeah,
Have to try down and try to sit down and eat a big dinner with somebody.
Punch the red button, turn it off.
Yeah,
Which
that's-
red button?
The one you punched before. Oh, I'm gonna have to come do this for you again.